Did gladiators start the right to refuse unsafe work laws? You'll find out in a second. What you're looking at is Ludus Magnus. Now, this was also known as the Great Gladiator Training School. It was the largest gladiator training school in the whole Roman Empire. And it's within this complex the gladiators would eat, sleep, live, and practice their skills in killing. Right across the street from this complex is this building, the Roman Colosseum. Now, when the gladiators were ready to fight, or the trainers thought they were ready to go at it, they would go from the training school into the Colosseum. But it was an underground walkway. It was a tunnel about 9 feet wide. Here's an actual video and pictures of the tunnel. I think it must have been a very lonely walk for these men, even though there was a lot of people inside the tunnel at the time. When they got to the Colosseum, it would be filled with thousands of screaming, cheering, bloodthirsty people. And then they would fight, often to the death. Not all gladiator fights ended in death, but you can bet it was minimum serious injury. Could you imagine if one of the gladiators, before stepping out into the fight, said, "Wait a second, I don't agree with this. This looks really dangerous to me, so I'm going to refuse to do this." Well, imagine the looks they would have got, and they probably would have been tortured to death. Well, it's modern times, and things have changed. And in North America, at least, there's rules and regulations that a worker has a right to refuse unsafe work. Now, I'm not an employment lawyer, so we won't get into the rules and the laws and the regulations. Besides, that could vary from state to state or province to province. But in most areas, workers are protected, or at least they should be. Of course, if you're a roofer or you work on cell phone towers and you have all the proper safety equipment, the proper safety training, but you're scared of heights, well, it's probably unlikely you can say, "Well, this is too dangerous, I'm not going to do it." And maybe you should be looking for another line of work. But if you are told to go down a 12-foot hole and it's only a few feet wide and there isn't the proper shoring or the proper shielding or the banks are cut away to make it safe for you to work in there, well, you probably have a case then. One of my first jobs right out of school was working in the sewer department, sewer maintenance department. And my first day in the job, there was this big hole and there was about 3 or 4 workers working in the hole, and it was my job to stand on top, and I was told to yell at them if I saw any of the earth moving from the sides. The ladders were all dented and kinked, and I kind of thought, well, this is just the way it is. The second day, I'm one of the guys in the hole. I'm sure back then, and this would have been in the 70s, there were rules and regulations to protect me, but I didn't know about them. Besides, I'm new in the job, and everybody else was doing it this way, so I figured that's the way it's done. Now, I would know better. So gladiators didn't have the laws and regulations to protect them from unsafe work. I'm sure you do. So always take the time to ask questions if you're concerned about your safety, and take the time to think and be safe at all times.